The Tom London Show is brought to you by Suzuki Kyalami, the home of happy customers. How's it from me, Tom London, and there, down by the south of Joburg in Sodwana Bay, in the southern suburbs of Joburg. Everything revolves around Joburg, of course. So Sodwana, Tonya Kuri, ladies and gentlemen. And the Zummers haven't got him yet, although he felt the earth move under his feet at 3 a.m. this morning. Alistair Jameson, the only Jameson in Geraldton. Was it really, were you really bouncing at 3 o'clock?
I don't know about 3 o'clock, but we were certainly bouncing last night.
Who, you and?
Well, the whole family.
Oh, okay. So it's true. Last week you were saying there were no explosions, and this week you're now saying there actually are explosions. The Zummers are busy mining underneath Primrose Hill.
We felt some movement in the force, you know.
All right. No Zummers where you live, Tonya Kuri.
Definitely not. Can we just confirm that we're live and everybody can hear us?
We're live.
Yes,
well, the last one. Sorry, that was me.
The comments below.
I connected everything except I didn't switch one little switch on, from off to on.
It's amazing how the little things make up all the problems.
Such a tiny little thing caused such a big cadenza.
What did Alistair just say?
He said it's such a, I don't know, something how the tiny little things cause big problems or something. I didn't hear all of it. I heard the first part.
I'm not going to repeat myself.
Oh, heavens.
Maybe it was something naughty.
The dysfunctionals are back, clearly.
Yeah, wow, yeah, damn right.
Everybody says they can hear us.
Oh, and guess what everyone was watching last night? Ramaphosa and Cyril and Trump.
Do you know what? Guess what?
Everyone was watching last night. And those who didn't watch last night been watching all the little clips and things today. Everyone was watching. That's what we're going to talk about on the show. We're going to dissect every single little piece of the video last night. I have got it in little clips for us to talk about and dissect. It's going to be such fun. Look at Tonya Kuri. Tonya hasn't had a day like this for 2 years.
Listen.
Big day. Tonya loves talking politics, and she's ready to have a go at America at any second.
No, not really.
Tonya does not like Tony Steenhuisen, or whatever his name is.
John Steenhuisen, the fat Minister of Agriculture.
I just want to get this one line out, please. Can I?
Yeah.
You can't roast a cupcake. Come on, Daryl.
She says you can't roast a cupcake. She calls Cyril, even Cyril is the wrong way to address the president.
Thank you very much.
She calls CR. I'm going to call him CR. She calls CR cupcake, which is terrible.
Mr. President to me, mate. No, Mr. President to me. But you can't roast a cupcake, it turns out.
He's not our president.
Who's not our president?
Cyril.
What?
Cyril Ramaphosa is our president. What do you?
He's not. He's the AFT's president. They voted for him in Parliament. That's the only reason he's the president is because the people in Parliament put him there.
No, he's the president. Yeah, well, he's the president because that's how we elect presidents in South Africa. The Parliament decides who the president's going to be.
Why can't we do it like America does it? Everybody has a say. You're the president. Thank you.
You can't trust this country with something like that because the next thing you're going to have Mafikizolo, the lead singer from Mafikizolo, or Penny, or so. You can't trust South Africa when someone come out with a hit song, or someone kicks a rugby ball over a post, or scores a goal in a World Cup. They can run for president for sure the next day. I don't know. I've heard that before.
Well, he should be the president.
But you can't say he's not our president because he is. Just because you don't
He's our president and I salute him. Thank you very much.
Well, you're the one who calls him Cupcake. I'm the only one here that actually likes
I'm allowed to make names for them.
I stand up for I would never call the president of this country Cupcake. Never.
Listen,
never.
No, in my defense.
What, you were bacon at the time?
Become a term. It's become a term of endearment for the president for many years. You know why?
I don't know.
Do you know why?
Why?
Do you know why? Because he calls his assistant Cupcake.
Do you really?
That is a true story. Yeah.
I'm going to phone the president now and find out. Hold on.
So from there,
He's still
we
in America
finally
playing
call
golf.
him Cupcake.
I don't believe that.
Sometimes it's insulting.
No, I don't believe that. I think it's an insult.
Just fun. But I'm saying that Cupcake can't get roasted. We were expecting a roast, and there wasn't one. I salute Mr. President. He is my president today. I like him today.
All right.
Very, very much.
Are you happy? Are you happy with the outcome? Let's start there. Happy with the outcome?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Alistair. Yeah, although he's not your president, you have. I mean, he is. We all know he's your president, but anyway, yeah.
I'm happy with the outcome. He was given a whole list of proof. It was this thick.
Would
He
you
was handed a whole bunch of files to say these are people who were killed.
Look at Tanya shaking her head. Would you agree that he's at least South Africa's president? Sorry, I'm still stuck on the president thing. I can't move past it. Would you agree Would you agree that Cyril Ramaphosa is the president of the Republic of South Africa? At
He's
least?
the ANC's president, yeah.
No, he's the country's president.
No. Ow.
But,
Who's the president of South Africa? I'll wait, Tom, please. I have to ask
this man needs an intervention.
Who is the president of South Africa, Al?
The guys that the ANC put in.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to sort him out. Oh man! All right. So,
oh my goodness!
So are you saying in your mind and heart you don't have a president?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, that's
he's
sad.
supposed to stand up for the whole country, everybody in the country.
But
he
I
doesn't.
think, okay.
He did.
When?
Okay, let's unpack that.
Well, I wanted to talk about last night, but you guys have already moved on to deeper political issues and problems.
No, I think let's use the White House, the Oval Office, to unpack Al's loathing for President Cyril.
This is completely. Can I just go
Cupcake Ramaphosa.
No, I'm going to my viewers because they're the only ones I can trust here today. You always anti-America. Today you are glowing about the whole thing. You have told me, Alistair tells me that we don't have a president. I mean, the stuff I have heard already on a serious political analysis and current affairs show. Laura MacDonald says, okay, the sound is on.
It doesn't happen on Gareth Cliff's show, you know that.
He's professional. Hi all, fasten your seatbelts. Una Guide is on board. Gwen Sanders is on board. Rita Vorman says, hi, Tom, Tanya and Alistair, greetings from PE. Looking forward to the show. Hi to you all from a cool Durban, says Pat's uncle. We can hear you, says Una. Yay, you guys. Beverly Ann Lloyd says we can hear now. Hallelujah, we can hear. Hello, everybody, says Soraya Lara. Marlene Falkenberg's on board. Beverly Ann Lloyd says, hi, Tom London and team. How are you guys? I'm fine, thank you. Barbara Ann Glaus says, hi, Tom and the team. Helen Mittbach is on board. Trump is a narcissistic bully. She getting her kick in early on the show. Heather Knickelbein says, welcome back to the Dysfunctionals. At least Uncle Cyril wore a suit and said, thank you. I agree.
Agree?
No, he didn't that much. He didn't wear a tracksuit.
No, he didn't wear a tracksuit. All right. Okay. So, Linda Edmiston says the meeting was a debacle, total waste of time, which takes this wind out of my sails because I was going to say last night that meeting was probably one of the most momentous occasions in this country's history. It was a big deal.
It was huge. It was bigly.
Now,
to coin a phrase from Trump.
Now, what I've noticed in the almost 20 hours or 24 hours since the meeting is, depending on which side of the political fence you are on, whether you're conservative or liberal, whether you agree in a free market economy or you're a socialist or communist, everyone's got a different opinion on last night's meeting, right? Depending on where you're coming from, you will call that a success, that an embarrassment, that should have happened, X, Y, Z. So some people are calling it an absolute mess, and then here's Tom London saying it was what a great day for South Africa. Now it doesn't mean I don't see the seriousness in some of it, or the deviousness, or whatever you want to call it, that goes on when we have to deal with other countries or they deal with us, and the topic we're dealing with, by the way. So let me not turn this into a joke. I think that what happened last night was a very big deal, and I'm going to tell you why. Give me a minute of your time, just a minute of your time. I believe, and these are my beliefs, and maybe we can agree on these things, like Trump and Ramaphosa agreed that Vladimir Putin should be in the G8 and represent Russia, like they agreed on that. That was big. Did you catch that? Anyway, I believe that the underbelly of politics is money. And the underbelly of a country is its economy. It's the money. And how you get money in the world today is becoming quite interesting, because we had the Western bloc that was all powerful for years and years, imperialists, colonialists, dominating the world and global economy. And then we saw the rise of Asia, Southeast Asia. We saw China rising. We saw India rise. Great economies that have become great big economies. We saw the formation of BRICS. South Africa joins this block of countries with loosely overlapping ideologies, but enough in common to keep an organization like BRICS going. And I think recently, when I say recently, the last 5 years or so, maybe 5 to 10, we've been sending weird signals out to America specifically. And maybe if you were sitting on the other side of the pond looking at South Africa, you'd go, those guys, I'm not sure if they're our friends anymore. And perhaps we let things slide to that level with America, where they were looking at us and genuinely, not just Trump's regime, but prior to that, looking at South Africa and wondering whether we were still allies, whether we were still friends of America. And there have been a number of things we've done recently that have gone against America's wants in the world. Enough. And I think our politicians have done enough and spoken out enough for America to go, hold on, South Africa. Are you our friend or are you our enemy? That's what I think we were. And then we had two things happen. We had Trump being elected to president of America, where he's bold enough to ask the question directly. Forget diplomacy. And then we had an election in this country that forced a coalition government. And there things become interesting, because your DA party is a loose, ideologically free market, capitalist party. ANC, a mix, capitalists with a social conscience, you could say, much like our economy. And now we have to choose. There's a fork in the road, it seems. India's Prime Minister Modi goes over to Donald Trump and goes back, one of our BRICS partners, goes back to India saying, I'm going to make India great again. What a great man Donald Trump is. Whoa! Where's this brotherhood of BRICS? And which way do you steer the ship, South Africa? Do you steer it towards BRICS? This economy of ours, do you steer it towards China and Russia and that side? Or do you hold the sails and set course towards America and the UK? Keep those relationships intact. Don't throw them away. Don't be on the bad side of economic history, because economists will tell you need growth rates. You need foreign direct investment to create the growth, to create the employment, to bring unemployment down. Even the labor, President Kusatu agreed with that last night in Trump's office. So I think South Africa has been on an interesting journey, but we've been rudderless for a little while. Who are we and what do we stand for? And are we friends with America? And I think that the thing that came out of last night's meeting for me was that we do not want to be enemies of America. And I think that's a good thing. Okay, so you ready to dissect, team? Alistair, you ready there?
Yeah.
All right, so the first video, and by the way, we're going to clear the comments now. Now, you can comment on the clips as well, and we'll read your comments out. So we got Alistair, we got Tanya, myself. We're going to play a number of clips and thrash them out. These are the points that came to my attention last night. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. A couple of buttons I have to push it to get this right. Okay, I think I got it right.
Don't press the sound button.
No. Okay, here's the first clip. By the way, did you see that Steenhuisen wasn't on the plane? That he flew commercial. He didn't get to go on the presidential plane. Johan Rupert, he didn't have to fly commercial. He went on there on this Gulfstream 650 all the way from Graafrenet. All right, are you ready? Here we go. This first clip is where Cyril Ramaphosa gets away with answering for Trump. I don't think anyone has ever gotten away with answering for Trump. And you actually say, I'll answer for you. Thank you very much. I thought, wow, this was a very interesting move. When he made this move, I thought this could go in either way or in any direction, because Trump could take it however he wants to. But let's be honest, Trump let our president speak. Here we go.
Why genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me.
Now, I think at this point, he was not counting on Retief Goosen just going off script a little bit later on in the meeting. But here's my question. My question is, what do you think? What do you think of that move by the president to say, hold on, let me answer that? Tanya?
Mandela.
Think so?
He did a classic Mandela. Classic.
Yeah,
this was for me the proudest moment.
I think it also indicates.
And you've stopped the clip a little bit early because he goes on to calm the situation right down.
Yeah.
After that, and he did a classic Madiba.
All right, got it.
Let's start by listening to each other, guys.
I thought it was very clever. I thought he was taking a chance when he started that. I thought, whoa, that's when the popcorn came out. It was like, okay, let's go.
And the question came from Annika Larsen,
but I think
one of our journalists.
Well, I think he got away with it because Donald Trump was not on the front foot at that point in time. He was saying, okay, he's not going because everyone's thinking. Yeah, I do. No, but, well, when it comes to I don't know, rules of diplomacy.
I think he handled it brilliantly. Can we?
Yeah, but I'm saying when
no,
I'm saying when you're dealing with a president like Donald Trump and you say, "Let me answer that for you," I think you're taking a bit of a gamble. I really do, because he could go one way or the other. You're on my side on this one, Alistair. Oh, presidentless one.
I agree. I think if you compare it to the Zelensky interview or the meeting, at that point, J.D. Vance stepped in and told Zelensky a new one.
That's right. You're right.
So
that's right.
I'm surprised Vance didn't step in last night.
I think I could see Vance looking out of the corner of his eye waiting for the signal. I don't know whether it's Donald Trump touches his earlobe or something that sets Vance off the couch. He'd sort you out quickly. People are already saying, "Are you mad? Are you serious?" Well, I hope that's directed at Tanya, not me.
About what? No. People in the comments are saying that Rupert should be president.
Well, it gets interesting because we'll get to.
No,
we'll get.
He was brilliant.
Oh, I see. Oh, you don't mess with Johan Rupert. Okay, so now we've got to work our way through the list before we get to Rupert.
Go.
Now the point that we were all waiting for. Maybe the whole world, because the world knew, hey, here comes another one of those chit-chats with the President Trump. Maybe the same thing will happen as last time with Zelensky. Let's get the popcorn. So everyone's watching and waiting for Donald Trump to do the Hollywood thing. What's he going to do? Is he going to shout? Is he going to, a dancing girl's going to come flying across the carpet? What's going to happen? Yeah. And we all knew something's going to happen when he said, turn down the lights, turn down the lights. Hallelujah.
Responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. And just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to present to you South Africa's very own
People are going to occupy
Julius
land.
Malema.
We require no permission from you, from the president.
So, yeah.
It has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles,
just gotta
please.
play
if
one
you
more
would.
time.
And turn the lights down.
That's when you know. That's when you know when he says, turn the lights down. That's when you know. In Afrikaans, haka. Yeah.
Well, you know, my take on that.
Yes.
Cyril Ramaphosa sat there during that whole video giggling at this whole thing.
Well,
He had a little,
yes, yes.
sneaky smile on his face the entire time.
But do you think that's because? Do you think that's because
He didn't have it. It wasn't
he
like
thinks
that.
he thinks of Julius Malema as a bit of a clown? Do you think?
As a clown?
Do you think it could be that? It's like, oh man, that's our Julius Malema. Hold on,
That's
let me
Julius,
show you the video of where we threw him out of Parliament 2 years back, and where we chucked him out of Parliament 3 years back. Yeah, every 2 years. Like that would have been my answer if I was there. I would have said, Mr. President, every year and a half or so, we have to take that man and throw him out for the stuff he says. We actually take him and we throw him out of Parliament. Yeah.
Okay, but then at the same time, Donald Trump made a point a little later on.
Yeah.
They said if that was happening in his country, somebody says something like that, they would have been arrested the next day.
Yeah. But you also can't make a wee on the side of the road in America without getting arrested.
Yeah, like I don't think you can run around going, I want to kill all black people or I want to kill all white people in America. I think they will arrest you.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you
So why
think
can't we
so?
do it here?
Well, you know so that's interesting that you mentioned that, because it went all the way to the Constitutional Court, who said that that's a historical song that should. But however, I think it points to, in my opinion, the Constitutional Court might have made a mistake. When it comes to kill the farmer, kill the boer as hate speech.
Yeah.
I would like
it's as gross. Sorry, as the old apartheid flag. It's gross.
I would like to live in a country.
It shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, I would like to live in a country where anything we may have done in the past and sung in the past or said in the past stays in the past. Especially hateful stuff. Yes, Alistair.
Exactly.
I would take issue with the question of the old South African flag.
Why?
That was not an apartheid flag. That
that definitely was. It was the National Party's flag.
It's a brutal shutdown coming your way.
It was from way before then.
No ways, man.
When the Union was formed in 1910, that flag was acknowledged as a
I don't know how we got to the. I don't know how we got there from where I was.
Nothing changed when the net took over.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like you want it. It sounds like you need to.
We're going to get cancelled, aren't we? We are going to get cancelled.
Oh man, I don't even know where it was. Can we go to the comments? Can I save myself in the comments? Yes.
Can we just start again? Can we just? It's Alistair.
What's me?
Do you want to roll another clip?
Wait.
I mean, even Trump.
I actually want to read the comments here because
no, I don't think we should. I don't think we should.
The comments are probably just as good. So let's go. Right? Are you ready? You want to do hardcore political analysis and commentary. Well, you need to take
Really?
I didn't expect Alistair
take it
to
all.
not
Well,
have
no,
a
I didn't think he
president.
would say that. He doesn't have a president, and that the flag was not union. I didn't know. Hold on.
I have an opinion of some people in this country.
Yeah, I know. I'm not knocking your opinion or shutting it down. I'm just saying.
My opinion. I'm saying it's the opinion of some people in this country.
Yeah, some
not necessarily
people,
mine.
some people. But yeah, I don't want to say what I want to say. Okay.
Yeah.
Cyril is officially president of South Africa. Thank goodness, not Mr. Trump. There, Margaret Guider said so. So what are you going to say now, Alistair? Seen that Margaret Guider said so. Ramaphosa did keep calm and spoke very well. He kept calm and tried to elevate Trump by feeding into his ego. The video presentation was perfect and got the message across. That's nice analysis from Karen. Is everyone quiet now?
Bad.
Everyone's quiet now.
I'm a bit shook, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too.
But anyway.
Yeah. Emily Hudson says, yay, so pleased that you're back. Going to be an interesting show today. Ramaphosa must feel like a poop. I don't think so. Do you think so? Do you think he feels bad coming back?
No, I think they're having a lacquer round of golf today. I think it's all good in the hood.
Linda disagrees. Linda says the meeting was a debacle. It was a total waste of time. Margaret also says, I like your take, Helen. Sharon Sapet said, at least he exposed evil. We'll get to that in a second.
And I have a lot to say. Like, if we've got time, we're running out of time. I've got a lot to say.
What?
Especially now.
So, Una says she was sitting on the edge of her seat. Her political views are very similar to Tanya, and my partner is Afrikaans. Truly believe there is a genocide.
God.
So Una and her partner were having eruptions like that. They had a rift between them that was bigger than what we are seeing develop on the Tom London show today.
And let's be fair, it's like Rock's drift.
Sharon says politics is about control and money. Felicia says hi, everyone. Una says, well, I say personally, I think CR handled it well and kept it together under difficult circumstances. Yes. The West have started to see their Moses economically, slowly but surely. And I agree with that. However, they are still our second biggest trading partner, America. Yep. The DA has lots of capitalism attached to it, that's for sure. Johan Rupert was the star of the show, says Una. Ronald Gerard says Trump showed proof of what's going on in South Africa. Margaret says, don't want to be enemies of the USA, but I don't want to go there. Johan Rupert for our president, says Margaret. Oh, man, what a joke. Barry Bodish was not impressed. It's a long message, but he's not impressed with Ramaphosa.
Really?
Margaret says Ramaphosa did do a Madiba, but as usual, Trump wasn't on his front foot as usual. Okay, the turn the lights down moment was intense, says Una.
Like a showman, right? Trump is such a showman. That was like typical apprentice stuff. You're fired. Coming up.
Very, very, very good. Sure, there's a lot of comments coming in. Yeah. The only way to deal with Trump is to stroke his ego. At least the footage has reached many people over the world. We need whatever fixes this country. Unfortunately, the ANC aren't our solution, says Nikki Hart. Okay. Right. So can I go to my next video? There was another video I had. Hold on. I think that was the faces on the crowd. Yes, I'm scared to play these videos now. So that was when they started playing the Malema video. She knew, that lady knew. Oh man, there he is going to embarrass us with his chanting. Did you see the looks? I think it was a bit of nerves actually. Right, next one.
Well, I think
this is where Trump pulls out the big guns.
Right here. Burial sites.
Not quite burial sites, commemorative crosses, but anyway.
Farmers, and those cars are lined up.
That's important. Hang on.
Now that is the video that I don't think our president had seen before, because when I watched him reacting to it, he looked quite shocked. I could see him reaching for people to ask about the video. So I've seen it. I know exactly which video he's talking about. It's the white crosses along the road.
Years and years ago.
A few years back.
2012, that video.
I don't think it's that.
No, a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's good. It's from 2012, I think. And I don't even we had a big story about farm murders, man. Farm murders have been a big thing in our country for a very long time. And, I think in that particular instance, I think he hadn't seen that video or he'd forgotten about that video, which is a shocking thing to say.
No, I don't think he's seen it.
Graves. There weren't graves. It was a memorial. And Trump was like, there's thousands and thousands of graves. And, like those headlines he pulled out, some of them were from the Congo. Some of them were from the Daily Mail. Look, the show was, let me just make sure about the point comes across. The show was what it meant to do. Right? Julia should not be singing that song. And I think that when he gets back, Ramaphosa is going to tell him, if you sing that song one more bloody time,
maybe
I'm done with you.
Maybe.
I think that it's going to be like that. But I also think that, I think that bringing Steenhuisen, Rupert into the room were master strokes. And Rupert, he stole the show. It's not like that. It's everywhere.
We'll get to Rupert in a moment.
Yeah.
My comment on this particular moment in the meeting is I thought this was a turning point. It was rather lighthearted. We were getting away with joviality, if that's a word. Smiles. Everyone was cordial. And then Trump played the video of the crosses. And I remember when I first saw that video, I thought, wow, that's a lot of people killed.
Tactic, yes.
I did. I thought that's a lot of people dead, murdered.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yes.
And I was shocked. And I think the natural reaction for anybody, if you see that many crosses representing a group of people, should be shock.
Absolutely.
And in the noise that we have, while we disagree with each other about flags, about all sorts of things in our past or our present, in the noise, because it becomes noise when we start arguing like this. In the noise is the reality. And the reality is there have been horrific farm attacks in South Africa, and farmers live behind electric fences, and farmers live in fear. We know that. And so there's no use denying it. And I'm glad that it wasn't denied. I'm glad that it wasn't denied that we have a problem. At least a number of people never denied. I'm glad that was not denied. But it was
but it's not a genocide.
Well, we're going to get there. We'll get there. But the first part of this process of getting to where you want to be is acknowledging that there's a problem in South Africa. Our farmers have been attacked, horrifically attacked. And when they are attacked, and perhaps it's because the crooks have got more time, or perhaps it's hatred. It depends which side of the fence you sit on. But our farmers, when they are attacked, the attacks are horrific. Horrific injuries.
I would agree with you, Tom, in the sense that...
Hold on, Tanya. Hold on, Tanya. Yes, Alistair.
If people are being attacked and branding irons and flamethrowers and things like that are being used to torture the people for hours on end before they're killed.
Murder most foul.
100%. And so I think it is something that you cannot hide. It's like a family. It's like we go overseas with our family secrets, and there's some we don't want to tell. Well, unfortunately, you can't avoid telling that one. It's a reality.
But why aren't we telling the others too?
It doesn't.
Why are we calling for Trump for one?
Well.
Not the biggest one.
Well, it could go.
One of them.
It could go back.
It's not the biggest one by a mile.
It could go back. It could go back to the plea by farmers in South Africa asking for the police for farm attacks to be put on the priority crimes list. And there's been a big push for that, but the police will not do it. And I have to say
what has that got to do with Trump?
Because this pressure will put it on the priority crimes list. You can be sure it will happen as sure as God made little green apples now.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So women need to do the same thing for femicide and for
right.
And for child abuse.
Well, that's now we start asking questions. What about all the other problems we have in South Africa? Because
no, not all the other problems. They're very enormous problems, like the genocidal number problems.
Right.
And I think that's the bit that irks the other South Africans, like me, is not that we're denying any of this stuff happens.
Yeah.
We're not. We're saying, can you see that we are the rape and child abuse capital of the world?
Well, that was said.
At genocide proportion. So if you're going to send, and this is why he did so well, was when he said drones in the Cape Flats is a different conversation. Now we're not talking about farmers. I mean, he said it himself. These are our big problems, not our real problems, our big problems, humongous problems that will result in no more farm murders, no more
I get that.
suburban murders.
Yeah. In an ideal,
Sorry.
Ideal, you're right. In an ideal world, you're right. But we have the American president talking about a farming genocide in South Africa, and that's the issue that has to be dealt with. Number one. First thing you have to deal with is that particular issue. You can't start bleating about everything else that goes on in South Africa. That's not the point. The point is the American president is using a word that the Americans can use to start a war if they want to, and you got to pour water on it. And so it doesn't make a difference whether farm attacks and murders make up 0.1% of the crime problem in South Africa. That's the one the Americans are throwing at us today, and that's the one we need to address.
It's the one we took to America, not throwing at us. It's the one we took to America. Nah?
It's true.
It's true. Africa, it's true.
Okay. All right. I'll take your point.
Thank you.
I'll take your point. Yeah, but is that perhaps that we're not that good at sorting our own problems out? Or that we're not listening to?
No, I think we're just using Trump because that's how we wanted to it. But
we're not listening to each other when people say they're unhappy and they have a problem?
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
We're not listening to each other.
Yeah, we're not. He said it.
All right, I want to play some more clips. Listening. I mean, there hasn't been enough disagreement, so hold on. Some more clips. Hold on. Yeah, two of you.
Let's go.
Thank you so much. President Trump, Anna Disaster from ENCA in South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation that we've just seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death.
That's my question now.
Let's go.
So my observation from that clip is not an observation on Trump, but it's an observation on the journalist, Anneke Larsen, ENCA, I think, and all the South African journalists who are in the Oval Office. There was a distinct difference between the way South African journalists introduced themselves and asked questions. There was a difference between the South African journalists and the American journalists. Very, very big difference. I was very proud to hear the South African accent and the way we were behaving in that office. Do we agree? Do we agree on that at least, the three of us?
Yes.
Okay.
Even down to the SABC journalist Sherwin Bryce Peace.
Excellent. He
had a brilliant question, and it was really well put to the president.
Yeah. So I was proud. I really was to hear. There was none of that screaming and shouting that you get from the American journalists. So I thought that was. Well, you had the other guy there was the cheeky journalist. I call him the cheeky journalist.
That other guy. Oh my word.
Talking about deflecting. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I've got the clip of Steenhuisen talking. Do you want to comment about that? Either of you?
Yeah,
all right, should we play it?
I thought he was great.
All right, let's listen to Steenhuisen.
Including the question that you've just raised. John?
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you for
John, for the White?
The White House. I would say we have a real safety problem in South Africa. I don't think anyone wants to candy coat that. And it requires a lot of effort to get on top of it. It's going to require more policing resources. It's going to require a different strategy to be able to deal with it. But certainly the majority of South Africa's commercial and smallholder farmers really do want to stay in South Africa and make it work. And I've just come from the largest agricultural show in the Southern Hemisphere with organized agriculture and farmers, and the majority of them want to stay. But they too there have a memorial to those who've died as a result of farm attacks. And as the Minister of Agriculture, it is something that I'm particularly exercised with my colleagues at police and my colleagues in the justice cluster to start making farm attacks and stock theft a priority crime. And it affects all farmers in South Africa, particularly stock theft. It has a disproportionate effect on smallholder black farmers. I also want to just say this.
Here we go.
The two individuals that are in that video.
He's going to stop Julius Malema now.
Both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa.
He's got a chance here to
and the Economic Freedom
Scott Julius in the ribs. There we go.
Now, the reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, which has been an opposition party,
I thought this was opportunism. I thought this was opportunism.
I was
trying to keep those people out of power. We cannot have those people sitting in the union buildings making decisions. And that is why after 30 years of us exchanging barbs across the floor in Parliament and trying to get one over.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. Basically, he says, now we're friends and we run the country together and we've got to make sure that Julius Malema never comes anywhere. Yeah, really? You say John Steenhuisen for president, and if it was a year ago, I would have thought, Alistair, you've been smoking crack cocaine, man. But there is John Steenhuisen sitting with the president and the president of the United States, talking and addressing issues, and I'm like, wow, where did this come from, John Steenhuisen? One moment he was a KZN boy, and the next moment he's sitting in the Oval Office. So
there was another change because he was jumping John, wasn't he? And he just did everything Helen said. And now he's not that John anymore. I don't know if you know.
I thought
in the past 6 or 8
he
months,
decided he's going to
become John.
He just wants to tell Donald Trump, Mr. Boss Trump, President Trump, that guy there, Julius Malema, causes a lot of trouble back in our country. You have no idea how much trouble he's caused back in our country, Mr. Trump. If you can just deal with one oak in this world, can it just be Julius Malema? He was wanting to say that. He was wanting to say, please, Mr. Trump, can you just deal with this oak once and for all? You could see he wanted to say that. I'm telling you.
Send a drone.
Yeah. What I find about this whole thing, I've noticed some of the comments that have been shared today on our feed.
Yes.
Donald Trump, he might not be the smartest tool in the shed.
I can't believe you said that. You'll never get a visa for America now.
Let me finish. He might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he certainly knows how to delegate to people who are.
Yeah.
And he's got people going into places like Gaza, like Rwanda or wherever in Central Africa, who are competent people who know how to negotiate settlements to problems. Right. And he's putting people in charge of all those little trouble areas.
Tanya, I'm telling you, I know who Alistair's president is. Tanya, I know who Alistair's president is. Breathe, Tanya, it's okay. I know who Alistair's president is. Donald J. Trump. Come on, wave the flag, man, Alistair, the American flag. You must have an American. Come on, have you got an American flag?
I know, I've got a British flag.
We've got to get you an American flag. All right.
That's why I'm here.
So the question was very simple. Can this be resolved?
Hope so. That's why I'm here.
I think it's done, isn't it?
There we go.
I'm not here for my health. I'm here to
it's done.
No, I'd like
so
to.
So everyone laughing at the end. Can this be resolved? No problem.
The headlines read today. Goes back. He's coming to
G20,
all fixed, man. Which is it's all done. It's all done, guys. It's all done.
Then Ernie Els spoke.
It was a great lunch.
Ernie Els spoke.
Yeah, Ernie Els. Okay.
I thought he spoke very well.
Rupert was amazing, though. Rupert. And did you see when Rupert had a go at John?
Oh, man.
Did you see that?
I'm going to play it. What do you mean, did I see it? I wanted to ask one by one. You see, I try and do one by one, and then everyone with me moves on 3 steps ahead. Each time I try and say, let's discuss Ernie Els. And then we're on
to... cracker, and we've got 6 minutes, man.
No, we haven't. We've got more time.
Do whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We can do 2 hours if we want to.
Damn right. I'm stretching us to 3 one day.
Oh, my God.
I thought Ernie Els spoke well.
He did exceptionally well.
I think he, because Ernie, you can see Ernie Els is he's not an emotional guy. He's just a factual guy, and he just spat some facts.
It's just a golfer. He's like 5.5 out of 10.
I'd give him better than that. I think he did better. I think he did okay.
Everything else, I gave an 8 out of 10.
And what about
Is it?
Retief? What about the beast?
Well, Retief Goosen did not read the script because everyone must have said, okay, let's not try and diss South Africa too much. And then Retief said that his family lived behind burglar bar wires, Warren, and you know what? Retief Goosen told the truth. He told the truth.
Thanks for Angola. Thanks for helping us in Angola.
No, that wasn't him. That was Ernie Els that said that.
Yeah.
No, it was Retief.
No, Ernie Els. Ernie Els.
Was it Ernie?
Ernie Els said.
Okay,
like
he just went down to a 3.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm trying to stay with Retief Goosen now, and now you've gone back to Ernie Els.
Sorry.
I had a really slick political analysis show planned this afternoon, and it's turned into another Tom London show.
Wow! I feel good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Was on point. He was sharing personal experiences that Donald Trump wanted to find out. That's what he's looking for.
Retief Goosen told the truth about living on a farm. And I think when he did
his truth.
But his truth is shared by every other farmer.
Perception is reality.
Well, I don't know. What's his name? The richest man in South Africa said, he sleeps with his doors open.
But he's the richest man in South Africa. You can't just walk onto his property. Come on, man. When Johan Rupert said, I sleep with my door open, I thought you're the only... you and Trump-Ramaphosa are the only two that sleep with your doors open in South Africa.
Okay, me too, but anyway.
The rest of us sleep with our doors open, and the farmers have electric wires around their front yards. He told the truth of Goosen.
They really, really do. No, it's true. It's true.
He did. I tell you who I...
They've got radios, and they've got shotguns, and they've got...
Yeah, and farm watches and all sorts.
Yeah.
And the other person who's... I was surprised Ronald Lamola didn't talk, weren't you?
I thought he was the smartest. I mean, if I went to if I was about to land up in the middle of a whole conversation in Donald Trump's office, if I got out without saying a word, I would pat myself on the back and congratulate myself for being the smartest person in the room. Minister Ronald Lamola, the only thing that people can say about you today is that Johan Rupert tapped you on the shoulder and said, this one.
This one.
And that wasn't Lamola's mistake or problem. If it wasn't for that, he would have got out of it.
I mean, if that wasn't the perfect description of South Africa as it is today.
I don't know what description that was.
I don't know what was.
Where's this part where Rupert gets to speak?
Thank you. Not a tournament you want to.
It's not Goosen. Where does... Rupert. Johan Rupert. Oh, God bless him. There we go. You ready?
God bless him, really.
Wine all of those things properly, you will see I'm the biggest target.
I also want to talk about Julius Malema, Mr. President.
Number one for over 10
There's two of us here that need to deal with that. Can you help us with Julius Malema, please?
He was in the youth league with that gentleman, and look how he's changed.
There we go.
We have too many deaths, but it's across the board. It's not only white farmers.
100%.
It's across the board.
100%.
We need technological help.
Maybe.
We need Starlink.
Oh, here comes the drone thing.
We need drones.
I don't know about drones, but anyway.
I actually got drones
Maybe.
donated for the peace parks to stop elephant and rhino poaching. And his predecessor stopped the importation because he said the United States would spy on us. I mean, US SpaceX, the ridicule. So if you can help us. Remember, sir, you and I lived in New York in the 70s. We never thought New York could be what it became. 2 commissioners, a tough mayor. We need your help to stop this awful killing.
Very clever turning point.
But it's across the board. Ernie is right now building a house in George. I'm building 3 cottages for my grandchildren on a farm outside Grafton.
Steel wire and electric fences.
I often go to bed without locking the door. And we have a serious problem with illegals who stream across the border. And if you really
How did the illegal immigrants get thrown under the bus?
I'm not sure.
a lot of these murders. First
No, I'm not sure.
and illegal aliens. And then I met Vice President Vance many years ago, that Charlie Rose.
Anyway, he goes on to talk about foreign investment in South Africa, and I can't disagree with anything that Johan Rupert said, actually. And I was looking on Twitter today, and people, I thought there'd be this barrage of comments, anti-Rupert comments. You will if you go to the EFF postings and look at the replies there, yes. But if you go onto X and you have a look, people are going, gee, Johan Rupert for president. Now, that's something I never thought I'd see, yeah?
And on TikTok is full of a love for Johan Rupert.
Everyone fell in love with Johan Rupert.
And also everyone's saying, Julius, like, really, can you give it a rest? Like, really? Like, we really don't need it.
I'm new to TikTok, and all I can find is Tanya Curry.
Is it? What does she have to say? Probably the opposite of what you were saying.
Yeah. She's got a precedent. Listen, I have to say something. Apparently, I keep interrupting and I must shut up. So somebody in the comments didn't like me very much. So please tell me if I'm talking too much, okay?
No problem. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Johan Rupert is an interesting character. I think I've got mixed feelings about billionaires. I look at this and I see a lot of billionaires in one room.
Going for lunch and then playing golf.
Luckily, it looks like they've got our country's best interests at heart. They're not trying to destroy South Africa. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Inshallah.
But, you know, I suppose you can sleep with your door open when you're a billionaire. If you're Tom London, you put the security gate, you freaking check the driveway, make sure the remote panic. Where's that panic remote that's supposed to be behind my neck at all time? Looking out the window when you hear a bang. The other night there were 10 shots. I wondered what that was. My door was definitely not open. Well, what I learned from that is Johan Rupert is one. I think it's only him and Trump-Ramaphosa that can sleep with their doors open in South Africa. But
because they've got a security force that
But and I thought, okay, I mean, there he is. I mean, if you just. When he tapped Lamola on the shoulder and said, "This one used to be the youth league, but look, he's come around to the right way of thinking. He's also a capitalist now, man. Yeah, we're all capitalists." But Julius, yes, he's a capitalist, but he says he's not, but he is one.
He even stormed my house. Remember when he did that, Julius?
That's a big...
Julius is really full of nonsense,
Julius,
man. Come on,
I would not want to be Julius Malema today. When you were on the big screen in the Oval Office, oh man, I would not want to be Julius Malema today. I promise you. I tell you who I thought spoke best, though. I thought the Cosatu president.
Me too.
Everything that came out of her mouth, spot on, accurate.
Yeah. Spot on.
Let's take a listen.
Thank you for having us, and President, for extending the invitation to us as organized labor.
Observing protocol.
I must say that we are here to support the initiative that has been made by our government with business, of course, as organized labor. We've been coming to Washington on the AGOA. Trade relations
saving
in the previous regime, and I think at the center of it all, for me, it is exactly what Mr. Rupert have said: the importance of us growing the economy. We have always emphasized when we were here and kept on coming and negotiating on AGOA that the 600 U.S. companies that are based in South Africa, as you said, President Ramaphosa, 500,000 jobs will be wiped out. We need more foreign direct investment in our country. We are not just talking about those that will lose employment, but we are talking about over 40% of people that are unemployed, that have no hope of ever finding a job.
A lot more than that.
correctly, as they have said, that we need to deal with the issue of porous borders in our country, so that everyone that comes in is documented. We also need to, and I would have thought that the minister would address the issue of land expropriation and how the policy works in South Africa. Recently, President, as you were preparing to come here on the news, in, I think it was on Natal, there was a handover of farms, and white farmers were saying, we are donating the land, but also there's a willing buyer, willing seller in South Africa. So there is no expropriation without compensation, but it is a willing buyer, willing seller. And that white farmer was even saying, President, that
kind of skating on thin ice with that comment
than what the land is worth of. And I think those are the realities, President, that we must say that we need to address, of course, but also the importance of agriculture linked to AGOA. People rely on it, and I think, as Retief have said, for survival and living. But lastly, for me, President, is also the issue of the crimes.
I want to stop it here, because everything that the three of us, and I'm going to read comments just now that we've been saying, I think can be summed up with what is about to be said.
Yep. There is no doubt about it that we are a violent nation, for a number of reasons, and we're not condoning anything. But also, if you go into the rural areas where black majority are, you would see women, elderly, being raped, being killed, being murdered, and these are black elderly women that would be found throat slits, raped multiple times, and all of that. And the problem in South Africa, it is not necessarily about race, but it is about crime. And we think that we are here to say, how do we, both nations, work together to reset, to really talk about investment, but also help us in how we can have the technology and everything that is needed, President.
I'm going to stop it there. I thought those were the best words of the day. And unfortunately, if you only had to listen to that one bit and say, how would you describe this meeting, and sum it up in one sentence, if you had to say, I would describe it like this. President Trump, the situation you've identified is way more serious than you think.
Yeah. Agreed. Couldn't agree more.
And as a South African, it shocks me to even say that the situation in our country, when it comes to violence and crime, specifically, is way more serious than you think. So listen, I thought that they did a good job. I thought our representatives did a good. We didn't get shouted at. They could have got shouted at. That's number one. We could have been sent packing. They could have got sent out without getting the buffet, which he did to Zelensky. But clearly Trump didn't do that, because Steenhuisen was thanking him for the lunch.
For a delicious lunch.
John Steenhuisen is getting fat at the White House.
Packing it in.
Packing that stuff in the little Serbian, putting it in his coat for the commercial flight home, man. So I thought they did well. I honestly thought they came out of it okay. I thought they did okay, and I was surprised to see a trade union president agreeing with Johan Rupert, and I was surprised to see so many people agreeing with each other. But I think they always say optics. If you look at it, the optics are that South Africans of various colors went to the president yesterday to say, yes, sorry, we need your help, and maybe it will force us to think about some of our decisions we've been making in this country, that we don't have to land up explaining ourselves in the Oval Office, because actually that's what we were doing yesterday. We were explaining ourselves to the world. It's a bit embarrassing. Anyway, okay, shall we go to the comments? Let's go to the comments, see what people have got to say. Oh man. Imagine being upset that the truth has been exposed. Liberals are lost, says 99FXR on YouTube. Shell Bircher says, hello, Tom London. Sometimes you just can't stroke someone's ego for a trade deal. No, I would definitely stroke someone's ego for a trade. It'd be stroking like crazy for a trade deal. Malema gets paid for this. He does get paid. They all get paid. Those crosses had to be removed and are now on a piece of land. That's right. I believe they're on a private piece of land. Alex Job says, I think that Trump's a prejudiced person, and if he was a president during the... And we've lost the rest of your message. Sorry. Karen Atwell, Tom London, nice to have all three of you on view. Sharon Ninaba says, good afternoon, delinquents. Big mistake with Rupert. See, I don't know. Some people see it as a mistake. Sharon sees it as a mistake. Diaper Donny, oh my goodness, that's a... God bless Donald Trump. The president looked shocked. I think that when the cross video, definitely, he did not know. Did you see his face? Did you see his face? He started shifting left and right on that couch. He was
couldn't
very
see. Like he was like, "Oh my God!"
Very uncomfortable, and you could see him asking his assistants, "Is this true?" They're trying to figure out while he's on live television. Yes, it's heartbreaking. Agreed, Tanya. I think he will now take Julius to task. Do you think so? Do you think he'll really call Julius Malema? I don't think so.
I hope so.
Do you think Ramaphosa will come home and then call Julius Malema and say, look what you did? Do you think so? I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
I hope so, but I don't think so.
Like, Ramaphosa has got a history of having a word, doesn't he? Like he did it to John.
Una Guida says, I don't think anyone can deny that it's really sad. All the deaths of farmers are definitely some real horrific farm attacks. True. It's not only the farmers, says Nicole. My parents were brutally attacked and tortured in their home in the suburbs.
Exactly. There you go.
See?
Terrible. Shocking.
Christine van Duren says, I'm so glad Trump got involved. Our government has tried for decades to sweep it under the rug. White genocide is real. You see, that's where there's a departure between you and I, because I don't think it's white genocide. I just think it's crime, and it's horrible crime. And it's everywhere.
Tom, I honestly think that it's a case of people are trying to give it the genocide name because of the previous government police minister who refused to listen to people when they were saying there's white farmers being killed. You've got to up the
I get it, but you know, when I understand the frustration and wanting the world to see that there's a problem. But this word genocide is a huge word to use. That's something when 1 million people get killed in Rwanda in 28 days. That's what that word is for.
And what Israel is doing to Gaza. Let's be straight.
Well, I'm not going to open that debate on the show today.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see, what else have we got here? Sure, I see both of you want to shut me down. Trump has a backbone, says Sharon Sappert. Amanda says we're allowing the same thing to happen. Julius Malema, oh my goodness, that's very strong. Saying some of these I can't even put on screen because Facebook will just take us off. Farmers have had a dreadful time. Tell the truth. How South Africa was 30 years ago compared to now. Many things were better, many things were worse. But what is undeniable 30 years ago is that we had a system that was a crime against humanity.
Exactly. Thank you.
There's no ways you can look back 30 years and glorify a crime against humanity. I can't do it, certainly not on this show.
Wow. Definitely.
Julius needs to go to jail. Lizelle, South Africa's...
just shut him, just gag him.
Lizelle, South Africa's past just isn't difficult, it's brutal. The legacy of apartheid wasn't just unjust, it was systematically dehumanizing, violent, let's be clear. It was a state-sanctioned racism on a scale comparable to the world's darkest regime. Correct. Yes, in the present, attacks on farmers, some are real. No one should justify or minimize the farmers' pain.
Exactly.
But you can't ignore where this country has been. South Africa is still living with the aftershocks of a long and vicious history, and there's a lot more that Lizelle said that's worth reading and thinking about. Let's see what is it. And seriously, my observation of Trump, he doesn't have a clue. I wish he would fact check the articles where his staff, says Helen.
Yeah,
agreed on the journos, says Helen.
Those articles.
Yes, priority crime, says Ronell, and I think it does. I really do think we need a list. We do have a list of priority crimes in South Africa, and I know
Yes,
that there's been a lobby for farm attacks to be put on that list. I think it should be. I think it's going to be, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens very, very quickly. Let's see, what else we got here? Julius was livid after Steenhuisen's comment. Yeah, I think that's what set him off. When Steenhuisen went for it, that's when he went on to X.
But he goes on to X, though. Isn't that funny? The very platform, Elon's platform, Julius goes to vent. I mean, that's just hysterical.
I know. And at the end of the day, it's Elon Musk who makes money. Elon Musk makes money out of all of our comments, including Julius Malema's. Yes. Alistair, no, he's an opportunist. He's Tanya, please don't interrupt all the time. That's funny.
Check, man.
You put in your place there. I'm not going to. Okay, we know Donald Trump is a manipulating and bad mannered, devious bully. He speaks like I think he's very smart. Anyway, Barry Bowditch says Steenhuisen 3 years ago said, and I quote, "The ANC are massacring white farmers." Barry's had a sister who had a wine farm. They were attacked more than once, now live abroad. Can't give the farm away. And I think Retief Goosen spoke eloquently when it comes to that. But yeah, on that comment of Steenhuisen's, Barry shows you how politicians can forget what they said 3 years ago and then watch them out. Yeah.
The Parliament has a dancing class that they teach all their members how to dance around stories.
Parliament? Yeah, probably. Drum roll. Where have you been today, Daryl? Somebody has to be boss.
Yeah, where has Daryl been?
Daryl! Somebody has to be boss, and that's Trump, says Crankbait. People who oppose Trump are typically welfare leeches. See, isn't it interesting? And I remember how I started the show? I said South Africa has got a fork in the road. Does it go more towards free market capitalism, or does it go more towards socialism? Who are our friends? Which way does our economy take? And
interesting how people on YouTube can say things anonymously, but on the Facebook side, everybody's got to put their name.
I know there's a big difference between the YouTube comments and the Facebook comments on the stream. Hey? Wish Gayton had been there, says Helen. He would have turned that into.
I don't know.
Who can you imagine?
That would have been interesting.
I don't know,
Gayton McKent. No, give him some credit. I reckon he'd be able to work the room in.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think so.
I love him.
We need a competent police force not run by corruption. Well, that sits at the bottom of all of this, isn't it?
Yeah. Come on, absolutely.
That goes to my point of earlier.
If you want to tell the truth. Gooi hom Rupert. Everyone loves Ruperts. The door isn't locked because of the bodyguard, says Helen. So people are trying to get Alistair to sing. People are trying to get Alistair to sing Delaray with them now. It's terrible.
No, then I'm leaving. Sorry.
Fusi Mokwena says Johan gets 8 out of 10. Ronald Gerard says Johan Rupert is. How did Johan Rupert go from South Africa's most hated man to South Africa's most loved man in one day? How did that happen?
And Julius is like, we're really done with Julius. Really, we wrote Julius off.
Brenda Beckett says that Juju is planning a protest against the American embassy in Cape Town on Monday. He will not learn. They'll come with one of those planes and then they'll take him. They'll do an extradition in Guantanamo Bay and we'll never see Julius again. And the tragedy that is South Africa will miss him.
We will. It's like we really will, because he's our funny guy.
We won't have the circus in Parliament every year.
There we go. Dawn Stelfox wants to know if you've got a flu, Tonya. You sound nasal. You sound nasal, Hazel.
Nasal. No, I haven't been well, but I'm on the mend, mate. I'm doing fine.
Margaret Guida says the Kasadu president is a very smart cookie. I like her. She's a realist. I agree.
Yeah.
How do we reset the crime?
The Great Reset, that's what they're calling it, aren't they?
Yeah. 39 people have liked us, 2 have loved us, Two laughed, and we didn't make
Anybody
anyone
angry?
No one made us cry, and we didn't make anyone angry. It seems. We
didn't make anyone angry. How did that happen?
If you've liked this video and you've hit the button, thank you. You are a true friend, and you're part of the show. And if you didn't, you're an enemy. It's as simple as that. Uncle Andy says, poor African president got roasted. You see, I saw Megyn Kelly was putting it out that way, that he got roasted. But Zelensky got clapped, but he didn't get roasted.
No, not at all.
Margaret says Trump was caught nicely off his feet. And I think there was a bit of that going on as well. There's a bit of South African unity in that room.
Yeah, both were dancing. Both danced.
Cynthia says Julius will get away with it as always. Wonderful that Trump saw that. Just like if you ever wanted to report on someone to the principal, that was it, eh? Sorry, sir. We want to tell you about the troublemaker in the class, shall we? Got this oak called Julius Malema, and he causes lots and lots of trouble.
Malema,
hold on, sir.
I have given you an opportunity to comply with the directive of the chair as assisted by the Sergeant of Arms. As this conduct is now interfering with the ability of the House to conduct its business, I now call upon the Parliamentary Protective Services to assist the Sergeant of Arms to remove the member from the chamber.
It was him, sir. That rabble, they even got a name for him now. Rabble Rouser. Rabble Rouser.
I love that. Yeah, Rabble Rouser. Did you hear that?
Peter Lever loved it when Rupert called out Steenhuisen for crime in the Western Cape. That was brilliant. Eh? And he says, when policing is a national competency, surely old Rupert knows about the spheres of government. Yeah, it is a national. It is national. It is national. That's true. But it's also true that the Cape Flats has got the highest murder rate in South Africa.
In the world.
You know. So I did like it when he said, and that's Steenhuisen over there. He's a province and he does. Hey, I love that.
That one.
Murders of everywhere.
He was talking. Rupert was talking about people putting technology in where they could pick up shots.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Whatever.
I think it's
that's in the Western one by the DA.
It's what by the DA?
The Western Cape is being run by the DA. They are the ones that put in all this technology to get all this kind of thing.
Well, then they can't say it. Then it's not a national thing. Well, I don't know. I can't understand. I don't know who to believe now because someone just said it's a national thing, and he's got nothing to do with it, Steenhuisen. And now you're telling me the DA are the ones that are solving the crime. Who's lying
here? The DA
in
the Western Cape are solving the crime. They've got
not on the Cape. Not on the Cape Flats.
No,
leave me alone here, Tonya. Leave me alone here. Leave me alone here, Tonya. Yes.
That is a huge problem, and I will agree with it.
Not on the Cape Flats. The crime is not solved on the Cape Flats, and not in Gugulethu, and not in Khayelitsha.
I won't dispute that. What I will say is they put the technology in place to attempt to try and control that.
But it hasn't worked.
They've got high altitude planes, drones that fly around watching the Cape Flats to see what's going on.
The DA are watching the gangsters with drones? Yeah. The DA
yes.
are? Really?
Yeah. Yes.
It's not working. Why are they asking for more now?
They have to get it under control somehow.
Do you think drones can sort crime out in South Africa? The audio technology, by the way, I think it's microphones that play strategically, and then you can triangulate and work out where the sound came from, approximate where the sound came from.
And that's in the Western Cape.
But all you have to do is put 3 around the Cape Flats, and you'll hear gunshots all day long. You'll be.
Yeah, exactly. Then there's a problem. It's a huge problem. I agree. The problem is taxis and gangs in the Western Cape are the biggest problem.
Yeah. Well, I go with gangs. I mean, I don't know. I have never had beef with the taxi guys in the West. By the way, they're Johan Rupert's best friends, the taxi guys.
Okay.
He said so on an interview a few years ago with Given Mkari. So I don't know. Maybe he's got the one gang, and then the gangsters have got their other gangs, and maybe we're all just gangsters in South Africa. I don't know how it works. Do you, Tonya?
It seems to be the only way to react to anything.
Which gang do you belong to? You the Lebanese gang?
I'm not saying anything, man. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here.
I love the left's crazy talk. Malema must be sanctioned. Trump is a master, an old father, and South Africa knows it. We need to study the word genocide. Yeah, I agree with Gilles on that one.
Thank you.
It's always tricky talking about politics. What is tricky?
Yeah, and I agree with
Zelensky was not roasted. The dignity of the man remains intact. No, but he got shouted at.
What?
Oh, no, you know what? Do you see why I don't like doing politics? Because friends start fighting with each other. Friends start
Alistair and I were never friends. I'm sorry, Al, I didn't mean that. I thought it was funny at the time.
Who said that, though?
Who said what?
That Tanya and I were friends.
I don't know what to say anymore because, you know, here's the deal. Tanya's always asking me to do more news and more political and this, that. I thought, okay, here we go. Here's the biggest thing of the year. Let's the three of us Shiners talk about it. And I'm sure we'll find a few relevant points and we'll agree on some stuff and we'll laugh about stuff. But look how it's ended. Tanya's not friends with Alistair. Alistair's not friends with Tanya. No one's friends with each other anymore. People are fighting with each other in the comment section.
Thank you very much.
It's all just gone to pot. And my vision for an ebony and ivory outcome here has just...
Oh, that's what we were singing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But it isn't ebony and ivory outcome.
Well,
you always have black keys and white keys on the keyboard.
No, I thought you and Tanya and I would be able to get through a political discussion and we'll all still be friends. And now I'm friends with everyone, but you Oaks have decided you're not friends with each other.
Well, no, like I don't know what's going on really. Like I was told to shut up, so I'm shutting up.
Who told you to shut up?
You.
No, just that one part where I wanted to address Alistair myself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, am I in trouble now as well?
Again?
Oh, God, now I'm in trouble too.
Can I talk again?
You were always welcome to... now you're making...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that this was a really robust debate.
Agreed.
I think we've all learned a lot about each other, including the audience. I think I'm going to acquiesce and probably say that hard news, specifically about the Americanas, is not the topic we should have been taking on.
Why? Didn't you have fun?
Look, I loved it.
You see, you did. You had fun. And that's all that counts in large amounts is that Tanya has fun.
I got so much more to say.
Did you have fun? Did you have fun? It's your kind of thing, eh? It's your kind of thing. You upset Alistair.
Yes, sir.
You told me I didn't allow you to talk. You've been kicking dust up around the room. Somebody had fun here.
I had fun, mate.
Did you have fun, Alistair?
And I've been feeling a bit down.
I always have fun on the top of the show.
All right, okay, because somebody said, Tom, this isn't working. Please stop anything about religion and politics. Tune in on Tuesday. We will be discussing religion on the show. All right. Listen. All I want to know is, are we all still friends after the Trump meeting last night?
Yeah, of course we are.
Are you friends? Are you still friends with Tanya, Alistair? I mean,
of course, yes.
Oh, all right. Are you still friends with?
And I'm still friends with Al.
Even though he's...
I just treat him with caution because he doesn't have a president. So
he's presidentless.
That's fine.
He's presidentless. He's got no president.
Well, he's not presidentless. But you know what? I think it's a great idea. What if we turn Alistair into an Americana? Like, Alistair Jameson, like Yarmison.
What do you want to send Alistair to Texas?
Yeah, let him try.
Would you go to Texas, Alistair?
There we go.
I'll go in a heartbeat.
Would you?
Let's do it. Let's see.
So we nominate Alistair. Shall we nominate Alistair?
Go to Texas. I'd rather go to Washington.
Washington. You want to go to Washington? You're gonna
the state, not the capital.
Oh, okay. All right. So you want to go to Seattle? That area.
I don't know if you get a choice, though. I'm not
not sure whether you get to draw on the map. You think, put a cross where you want to live. Alistair says, "I'll go to Seattle. The coffee's good there."
Okay, so let's do that. Well, we're going to make it our mission.
Well,
Are you ready?
We're going to send Alistair to America.
Yeah.
Well, am I going to be
you're going to have to stop wearing that Scottish hat of yours and start putting on a, I don't know.
The red, white, and blue, John.
You get the right arm. You get the right. Can we all stump together and get Alistair a khaki shirt, a farmer's shirt, please, man?
Yeah.
And then you got to stop telling.
Tiny little
you got to
American
stop.
flag.
You got to stop telling people that you're not a farmer. In fact, Alistair, I've worked it out. This is how.
Plant millies now.
No, man, this is how we're going to get Alistair to America. You know, there's the Zamazamas that are busy blowing up underneath Primrose Hill where Alistair lives. Alistair can say that he could be blown up at any time.
At any time.
And
he can have newspaper articles to prove it.
He's got newspaper articles. He's got enough newspaper articles to prove it. I reckon, Alistair, you tell them that you're in danger of being blown up, like literally blown up.
Yep.
You're in.
There you go.
You're in. But take Tanya's advice.
They've accused me of having a bleached ringer.
That's what's upset him. That's what's upset him. It's me that upset him that made him do all of this today.
I didn't do that, though. That had nothing to do with me, Al.
It's me that upset him.
I guarantee you it had nothing
It's me that upset him. It's me that's gone.
It's the bleached ringer, you know.
But let's be fair. You're very white now.
No.
You are. Totally white.
I'd like to clear the rumor up, please, because I'm the one who started it. Alistair did not go into a government hospital to have his backside bleached yesterday. I promise you, I was just making it up.
To become more white.
To become more white.
I'm ready to go to America.
I'm operating on 1.5 lungs here, man. Come on, stop this. I promise you, on my heart, Alistair did not have his backside bleached yesterday, and there's no truth to the rumor that he was trying to become more white.
It's just so that I could get into America, you know?
But just take Tanya's advice, all right? When you get there...
Show him your bum.
Don't tell.
Thank you very much.
Don't tell them you're Jameson. Your name is Alistair Yarmison from now on. Van Yarmison. Alistair Van Yarmison from Germiston. Get him blown up by the Zamas and I seek refugee status in America, Your Honor. Check his backside for proof. Check his backside for proof.
I'm seeking refugee status.
Now, hold on, he's got serious stuff he wants to say about refugee status. Hold on.
I'm seeking refugee status. I'm ready to go to America.
There we go. Yeah, well, that's it. I would drop the voice a bit like Johan Rupert does. You want to talk with authority. You want to go, this one over here.
Yeah. Tell them also you don't have a president.
Yeah, and you're presidentless. Tell them you're presidentless.
I don't have a president.
He hasn't got a.
To be closely.
There we go.
I require a refugee status in the Americas.
There we go. He's practicing.
There we go.
He'll get there. I'm telling you, the Zamas are
we'll
going to...
get back to you next week.
He's lucky that he's got explosions going off.
Right.
What's that?
So all I've got to do now is get my car guarding right.
You're going to be a car guard in America?
No, I'm going to be a car
And you
guard
need
here
a pair
before
of
I go there.
Crocs.
Oh, is that the qualification? Okay. Sure. No, I
And a
think
pair
you're
of
fine. You're
Crocs.
getting bombed by the Zamazamas. You
Yeah, more than
just
enough.
tell Donald Trump that things are so bad in South Africa now that we're getting bombed from underneath. They're bombing us from, you say, they're bombing us from underneath the houses, sir. And,
Underneath.
And that's true. You can take a Citizen article with you and a Sunday Times and a whole bunch of them, and you can flash them at him like he did yesterday. And you can get your...
funny.
All right, so you want to go to America, eh?
And then if they ask for the ultimate proof,
You go there in a heartbeat.
touch your tippy toes.
But he's fussy. He wants to go to Seattle. You know, don't want to go and slug it out in Texas. What work would you do there, Alistair?
Me?
Yeah.
I'd make movies.
Oh, then you need to go to Hollywood.
Why are you going to the other place then?
Yeah, you can't go to Washington.
Did you
You got to
mix
go
them
to
up?
California.
Washington. It's the other side.
You got to go to California.
Maybe we should do
That's all right.
geography
I'll help you with
first.
American geography and history. I went to school there for a while. I'll make the X on the map for you where you need to go. I'll help you. Put a X on Boise, Idaho.
Oh, the world's biggest twine. That's what it should
I'm going to
be.
go to America one day to see the world's biggest ball of twine.
Thank you very much.
Is it in Idaho?
Apparently.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. All right, so I think we've run out of steam, have we? Feels like it.
Jeez, that was hectic.
My battery's
What are the
going.
comments saying?
All right, I don't know. The people... pity that Donald didn't show this show yesterday.
Dawn doesn't like me. Dawn says to record my laugh for
Horror movies. There we go. You've
She's
made a
so
friend there.
mean. She's the same
You've made a
as that
friend
ever
there.
shut up.
You've made a friend.
Oh.
You've got a friend in Dawn. You've got a friend
You've got
in
a
Dawn.
friend in Dawn.
You got a friend in Dawn. Remember last week Mona had a go at me?
Yeah, Dwan's mine.
You know what I did? I called Mona and I made friends with her. Mona's coming on the show one of these days. You got
so
a friend
excited.
in Dawn. You got a friend in Dawn.
Mona.
Gail tells, by the way, Alistair, you are missing a safari suit and grasshopper schooner. Gail's going to look in a vintage clothing store for you so that you can go to America.
I've got my khaki shirts, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Let's turn Jameson into a Yarmasian. That's the.
that brilliant?
That's brilliant.
That
Alistair
is
Yarmasian.
brilliant.
Alistair Yarmasian.
Ow.
You can call me Elmasian. Yarmasian.
Elmasian.
You can call me El Yarmasian. What else are people saying? You're doing a damn good show on the politics, Tom. Let Tonya and Alistair sort it out over a tequila or a coffee if they feel they need to.
Yeah.
Excellent topic today, says Cara Natwell. Please talk, Tonya. Please talk, Tonya. That made me look like I banned her from talking on the show.
Heavens. Oh, goodness. Well, I did have a moment there. Like 2 people told me to shush.
That's good. That's good. My whole purpose on the show is not to make enemies with people. That's my mantra, my broadcasting mantra. But you guys, you are welcome. You are welcome to get speared. And you're welcome to get blixemed by the viewers. You're welcome to get. You're welcome. My mission in life is to be your China. They can do what they want. I don't mind.
Wow. Today was hectic.
What's that?
So you're a BRICS supporter?
Yeah. Hold on. That makes it sound like that's something bad if I'm a BRICS
There's a punchline coming.
You like talking to my China.
Listen, Jana. I
think we've run out of material and we've run out of things to say. All right, so if you didn't know, we have fairly diverse opinions on this show. I'm the guy in the middle, I would say, and then we've got Tanya over there. She's radical left. And then we've got old conservative right on the right over there, Alistair. Yarmasian. And me, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm trying to keep these two from killing each other, basically. That's my job. Anyway, Dawn says she's not been nasty. She meant it realistically. She's not been nasty.
It's so mean. I'm the controller.
Superb show today, says Gail E. Mortensen.
Yep.
And I think it wasn't a bad show either. It didn't look like CNN. Wow. It didn't look like Garrett Cliff analyzing. Didn't look like Sizwe and Paul Walsh. Didn't look like Annika Larson talking about politics. I thought for once I would do a serious job, and look what happened. It became a Tom London show. There we go.
It got dysfunctional as usual.
Love that.
Just like, can I show you two things before we go? Two things before we go. Two things. Right. Three things. This was me at the coast having a wonderful lunch with my dad. I wanted to show you that picture. Then this is I love that. This is the airport, coming out of the airport where they got a poster for hair implants as you come out and get off the plane. And that's the before on the left and the after on the right. And the guy does not look happy with how he looks now. Do you see that? Not smiling or happy at all. And then I wanted to show you where the bird bit my ear. Jamie bit my ear. That's the big news. That's the massive news.
Jamie
Jamie bit my ear. Anyway. All right, so listen.
Did you bleed, Tom?
Sorry?
Did you bleed?
Yeah, I bled.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I bled. She started chewing.
Trying to take your ear.
The trauma of it all. Anyway, I think, that's it. Obviously, everyone's run out of jokes and steam now, so all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching the show. The thing you're going to learn.
We made it.
The thing you're going to learn along the way on the Tom London Show is that you're not obliged to think like me, and you're not obliged to feel like me, and you're not obliged to. You don't. I mean, I know Tonya thinks I made her tell her to keep quiet today, but I wasn't really. I was just trying to, for like 2 seconds. I was just trying to say something, but you got a voice here. You know, you are allowed to say stuff. You are Tonya too. Alistair, he even gets to talk. Look at the stuff he says. That stuff makes the air turn blue sometimes. But basically what you got is you got some good-hearted South Africans who get around the campfire 3 o'clock on a Tuesday, 3 o'clock on a Thursday. And we discuss anything, man. And the main thing for me when it comes to these shows is when we leave, we can leave friends. So exactly. I'm glad that Alistair and Tonya are still Chinas, even if it's just for the cameras.
That's not...
And I'm glad we can all leave friends after talking politics for an hour and 40 minutes. And now the bird's had enough of being covered, so I need to get him uncovered and start my life. My goodness. My goodness
one
gracious
of your best
me.
Shows, Tom,
I know, people say it's one of our best shows. I know. The views and the comments expressed on the show don't reflect any of the views or comments of our sponsors. We're very pleased to have Suzuki Kyalami and Suzuki Ravonia as one of our massive sponsors on the show. Here's Liam Winter going to sell you something.
Hi, I'm Liam Winter, your Suzuki sales expert, and I have the privilege today to speak to you about the amazing Suzuki Franks. The Suzuki Franks comes in 2 different trim levels, the GL and the GLX spec. Both are available in manual and automatic transmissions. Both our Suzuki Franks trim levels come standard with mag rims, daytime running lights, and both follow the liquid design philosophy of Suzuki. So it's not only the exterior that is absolutely out of this world, it is the interior. And here are a few creature comforts that I'd like to show you. So as standard, our Franks is fitted with cruise control, automatic climate control, and a 7-inch landscape touchscreen that connects wirelessly to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So, if you upgrade to your Suzuki Franks GLX model, you get a 360-degree camera, keyless start, and a graphic heads-up display. With so much stock being available, don't delay, inquire today, and find out why Suzuki Kyalami and Suzuki Rivonia are the homes of happy customers.
Yeah, that's it for the Thursday edition of the show. There'll be a Tuesday edition of the show, and then next Wednesday, do you know where I go, Alistair?
Durban.
I'm going to Sodwana Bay.
Not next Wednesday, the following Wednesday.
No, it's next Wednesday.
Shut up, really?
Yeah, I'm coming. It's next Wednesday. I'm coming to you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday is the 28th.
Oh, is it? You mean still another 2 weeks to go?
It's another week, yeah.
Oh, I've been telling everyone. I've been getting people, organizing people to come and feed the birds from Thursday next week. I got this all wrong.
It's a calendar.
All right. Oh, man. Okay, well, that's it. From Alistair Jameson, the only Jameson, Ja, Mason, in Germiston. Goodbye. From Tonya Curry, the lefty liberal, in Sodwana Bay. And from me, the only sane person in the room, I say, God bless the USA. God bless South Africa. God bless the relations between us. Viva BRICS, reviva. Long live Putin, long live. And we actually love our Julius Malema. Please don't take him to Guantanamo Bay. Please don't take him to Guantanamo Bay. There we go. All right, that's it. Show's done. Can we all agree that the show's done? Otherwise, people will keep talking on the comment section. I got to eat. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Baby hearts. Baby hearts.
Baby hearts.
And despite their appearances, they actually have very kind hearts, my two friends that I invite onto the show with me every Tuesday and Thursday. They actually got, we say in Springs, they're good oaks. So we invite you to join us again Tuesday, 3 o'clock. Come sit around the fire with us. Who knows what we could be talking about. We could be talking about anything. I think we'll do religion on Tuesday. We'll do some religion. That should sort things out. Just have a nice, quiet family chat about religion. Tuesday, 3 p.m. Don't be late. If you're late, you're an impimpy. This show is brought to you by Suzuki Kyalami, the home of happy customers. Tell them Tom sent you. Alistair?
Yep.
Tell them Tom sent you. Tell them Tom sent you.
Tell them Tom sent you.
Thank you.